Sup flappers, welcome back to another video. Now first and foremost, here's a disclaimer. Please pull for who you like. This game is not that difficult, and if you have to get a new character, I heavily urge you to get someone who you enjoy playing. This game releases characters quite fast, and if you are one to change hearts quite often, it could get pretty dangerous. So once again, please play whoever you like, pull whoever you like, because I always see these comments everywhere. Players telling them, don't look at these videos, stop looking at these videos, just play who you like, right? So here at the very beginning, there's your disclaimer. All right, so continue watching if you want a more in-depth analysis, or if you just want some background noise while doing something else. Let's get started. While some would say that Kazuha should not be compared to Ayaka, I find that to be not true. Just because two units are of different roles does not mean they cannot be compared. We are talking about relative value to your account, whether you are a waifu collector working on your 8th main DPS, or a casual free-to-play who just started a week ago and now is torn between both. I hope this video can help you out. Kazuha is an almighty plug tool. What the hell does that even mean? The man works practically with everyone and can fill 3 roles in the game. Apart from some wonky geo teams, Kazuha is a premier choice with a lot of units currently, and he offers some of the best synergies I've seen in a lot of teams. So if you want to know what some of those teams are, I have made a video about it actually, so I'll put it on screen somewhere. So if you're curious, you can go look at that once you get him. So Kazuha is not a difficult character to play either, and he offers immense boost in team strength. Think of Kazuha like a Nemo Albedo, but done even better. So better overall support capabilities as well as potential in the main DPS role, because that's what I think Albedo really lacked. He lacked that flexibility into other roles to make him truly shine. Now Kazuha does suffer from the lack of geo reactions, which is not a big issue as most geo units are supports as well. So there is a conflict in roles to begin with for these two different elements. For players who are just starting out in your game or in their mid-game, Kazuha will likely yield a better value than Ayaka. But Ayaka being cryo benefits from the cryo resonance, which makes her extremely easy to build for high crit damage. She offers a unique playstyle that is exclusive only to Mona and herself. You can't get it anywhere else in the game currently. There is potential for some of the best reaction in the game with Ayaka as well, and she is going to be a fast-paced crowd DPS like Kaya, but on crack. Furthermore, it is no secret that Ayaka has been a heavily anticipated character, so I understand if you guys are just here for, the entertainment and that you're actually already dead set on going for Ayaka. I do think she's going to be a great unit. miHoYo has shown that they are now very capable of making balanced characters. That doesn't seem to really push the narrative of power creeping further, because I know that's a very big issue that the community has been trying to address. And while miHoYo has not directly answered our cries, I do think that with the previously 2 released characters being Eula and Kazuha, there is proof that miHoYo has pulled back a little bit when it comes to overscaling some characters, because let's be quite honest, I do think even till this day that Ganyu was designed to be a support character with some flexibility into other roles, but just because her numbers were so heavily overtuned, eventually she just became too good as a main DPS for her to be considered in other roles. Now with that being said, I still use her in the support role, but I digress. So the strength in Ayaka will come from her flexibility in builds. There's potential for physical builds as well as cryo damage builds, although physical Ayaka feels wasteful because her burst skill seems to be scaling off of cryo damage. But this is in regards to Keqing and how Ayaka and Keqing both have this duality, which seems to point to the possibility for Ayaka to have physical damage capabilities. Although, is it going to be that good? I don't think so. Just like how Electro Keqing is going to be the better version of Keqing, but that doesn't mean physical Keqing was bad. In fact, physical Keqing was able to clear all the content in the game and without breaking a sweat even. So I'd imagine a character that is coming out in patch 2.0 after miHoYo has learned all the things about character development and character structure. I think they're gonna nail Ayaka both in crowd damage and likely in physical damage. damage. With that said, I do think Ayaka seems to bring a breath of fresh air to the main DPS category, and for seasoned players, it should be a ton of fun picking her up. But when you are picking Ayaka up, you do have to understand that her sprint animation can get a bit annoying, as you cannot turn on the spot but is forced to make a U-turn instead, which actually burns quite a bit of stamina over a long period of combat or usage. Also, you are locked into an animation whenever you sprint, and unlike the normal sprint mode, you can't cancel out of it, which can be very problematic in endgame content where mistakes can be fatal. Overall, if you are lacking core units, generally Kazuha will be a better pickup, as he can act as a glue to your team. For people who have well-established teams, Ayaka can likely be a more flexible carry than other options, kind of like a better Kaching who is also cryo. One of the things that I don't see enough people talking about is how Kazuha functions as an omnipotent battery for everyone. Literally, you slap him together with anybody and he will do great in recharging their burst skill. So if you enjoy quick swap teams, if you enjoy fast-paced gameplay, and if you enjoy just mix matching characters and just forgetting about meta whatnot, Kazuha definitely will serve that purpose for you flawlessly. Furthermore, I do want to touch on the fact that Kazuha currently is supreme just at Constellation 0. So when Ayaka does come out and everything does get finalized, we do have to analyze her constellation as well. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to give you exact insight and detail as to what her constellations entail. But if you are somebody who can consider constellations into your equation, I do think that likely just looking at Kazuha now, it leans more into him being an overall better choice. Because unless you have both Venti and Sucrose, I do think Kazuha is going to benefit your team strategy more than Ayaka will. Now, this all comes back down to one simple principle, and that is you can only have one main DPS per team, but you can essentially have two supports, or one support and one support DPS. And this just doubles when you go into the Abyss, where you have two teams, so you can have two main DPS, but now you can have 4 supports, or 2 support DPS and 2 supports. So of course, support characters always hold more value until MiHoYo finds a way to give more love to main DPS units when it comes to general utility. And with Kazuha being a character that can be flexed into 3 roles, I do think that currently, for the vast majority of players watching, he will be the better choice overall. Now, as we have continuously seen with all sorts of characters, as long as they're in the main DPS category, chances are they are replaceable. And good supports really don't come by that often. So with that said, I hope this video has helped you in making a final decision. If not, I'm sorry, I tried my best, but you can always join my Discord and ask around to see what other people think regarding these 2 characters. If this video did help you, you can consider liking and subscribing. So until the next video, and Inazuma, I urge you all to stay safe and peace.